Thank you for joining me again. Very briefly, I have come live again. Very briefly. For those of you, who send some of the one of the video I made last time to the LNC Niger Lower Niger Congress or so. My attention has been drawn to the response by Mr. Tony Nnadi, and sorry, the battery of this is down. My attention has been drawn to the response by Mr. Tony Nnadi, and of course, just few minutes ago, somebody commented on the watch party I hosted from Channel Television on this coronavirus. So Mr. Tony Nnadi responded, and actually, thank you for joining me all. I may not have the time to call the names, so let me go direct to the issue. So Mr. Tony Nnadi of the Lower Niger Congress responded to the video I made urging him to stop castigating IPOB and other Biafra agitating group. And it is quite laughable. It is quite unbelievable. That actually, so the person who alerted me on the response told me that he wrote a book on his page, and of course I have the time. I went to see what Mr. Tony Nnadi of the Lower Niger Congress have written in response. So he wrote the rejoinder and a lot of things, but I will not go into details. I went through his page, of course, and it's quite interesting that what Tony and his group were discussing is force majeure. That I did not pronounce force majeure. Well, one thing Tony, don't know is that it is not everybody that looks smart are actually smart. It is not everybody that look competent are actually competent. You can be smart. You can look smart. You can be talking sense, but you may not be competent. It is not everybody who is well learned or well educated have leadership quality. So I could not have imagined that during that live broadcast, because when I come to do my live broadcast here, I am here like a lecturer. I come here to do like lecturer, and when I read things, I don't go into fantoning my pronunciation or try to form to be an American or try to speak like a British or try to speak that I have been living in America or something like that. Everybody can change tone. Everybody can speak very good English. If I want to speak good English, I can speak very good English. And I am not communicating with English people. I am not communicating. Where I am, we don't speak English. We have our own language. But when I want to speak with people who speak English, I can change my tone and speak anyhow I want. I might not be a professor, but I think I am well educated. And I can change my tone. I can speak like I have never been to Nigeria if I want. That is not what I am here to do. I am not here to show my English proficiency. I'm not here to show my English skills or that I am an English master. No, I am here to educate my people. I am here to bring myself down to a level of those in Nigeria. And I'm not here to show you my English command. I'm not here to show you how educated I am. I'm not here to show you how well-to-do I am. No, I am here as a fisherman. And it is quite very laughable that after my advice, and again, I am not going to insult Mr. Tony Nnadi. No, 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 no. It is not I'm not like that. So I went through his page, and of course, I don't want this to generate anything. Maybe this will be last time I will respond to him or to his Lower Niger Congress until we shall meet when the Biafra referendum or Biafra restoration or whatever it is going to be called will now come into limelight. So, but for now, it is not necessary to, but I'm going to address some things he mentioned in his rejoinder. So, but one thing that bothers me is that, Tony Nnadi, the way he responds to people, in his page, those who, especially the one who say, I am going to probably begin to read and study what he wrote to be able to pronounce it, and Tony Nnadi even responded that he cannot even pronounce force majeure. When I come here, I start reading things. Of course, there is no excuse, but you don't know the system I have here, how I manage to be showing the screen of my live broadcast, how tiny the words are, and I am always repeating, going back to make sure that it makes sense to those listening to me. And Tony Nnadi is taking advantage, and he went to his page and wrote all those things, and we are commenting. I want also you people to forward, those who forwarded the video to him should also forward this video to him, because he claimed that about 30 people have actually contacted him and decided that, and he was telling them, and they were telling him that they understood that I was trying to mislead people. And he also claimed that I'm the megaphone of the rogue Biafra Restoration franchise. So from his own rejoinder, what he wrote today, I am going to, and for your information, somebody just commented that he wrote something about me on his page just a few minutes ago. So, and I do not want it to take like 3 days before I respond to him like he did. He said that he took about 3 days before he said no, he has to. So I'm not waiting 3 days. I think he posted it like 8 hours ago, and I just got the information during the time of my hosting of this watch party that somebody commented that Tony Nnadi wrote something. So I don't need to wait for even 1 hour. I don't need to wait for even 30 minutes. So I want to respond to him straight away. And it is all about brain and smart. So I'm not here to call him name or abuse him like he's abusing and making mockery. No, I'm not going to do that. But if Tony Nnadi has what we call leadership quality, he will not write in the manner he is writing after that my video. But because a lot of people may be very brainy, a lot of people may be very smart, it doesn't mean they have the leadership quality. So I wonder how he managed to maneuver and succeeded in doing all that he said that Lower Niger Congress has accomplished, for many years. And he also claimed that the Lower Niger Congress actually succeeded in coming to alliance with Yorubas and Middle Belt. So if it is the way he is presenting himself in social media and with derogative and very, very vulgar language describing fellow agitators who has not abused him, only that I was trying to educate my people and he picked on force majeure. Who doesn't know force majeure? Who is it? Even somebody who have not entered the four walls of university knows what is force majeure in secondary school. So what is, but anyway, that is by the way. So I am going to again, like he mentioned that I highlighted of his words, and I didn't highlight other ones on purpose. Of course, everything he wrote about IPOB were all junks. And let me correct him again. I am not the mouthpiece or megaphone of a rogue group called Biafra Restoration. No, I am not a megaphone of anybody. I am megaphone of Biafra Restoration. And the Biafra Restoration comprises of every Biafra agitating group. And anybody who have convinced me that they are for Biafra restoration, that's my weight. And every experience I have, with clean heart and clean mind, I will project them to the world. And that is what I have done with IPOB. And that is what I will continue to do with IPOB until Niger or Lower Niger Congress convince me that they are ready and they are genuine agitating for Biafra restoration. I will also do that to them. And I'm still doing it because I have never spoken anything bad about the Lower Niger Congress, and it is not my pattern, or I don't behave like touts. I am well raised. I am, I don't need to start telling all those, but I am a responsible person. I don't behave like tout. I don't call names. I don't use vulgar language. I am a very down-to-earth person, very jovial, very friendly, and very social. So however you try to provoke me to engage you in social media, you will not get that. I will not give you that opportunity to come down to that level. I don't do that. You must have had the experience in the oil industry and you were part of Nigeria, big politicians and all that. But I have my own level that I have to maintain. And I cannot come down to that low to start to exchange words or engage you on social media. No. I have more important thing to do. My work and Biafra agitating and the restoration of Biafra. So I'm going to show you. And again, I am going to select what I am going to show to people from what you wrote, because I don't have time to go through all your rejoinder, what you have written down. And please, I may not even know how to pronounce your word because it was written in a very big English, but all of you may understand me. By the way, I will be communicating to you Biafrans, not to Tony Nnadi. So now watch. So here is a rejoinder. This is a rejoinder by Mr. Tony Nnadi of the Lower Niger Congress. As you can see, Tony Nnadi wrote, "The new megaphone of the rogue Biafra franchise merchant and a miserable attempt at obfuscation, March 23rd, 2020. I will also, I don't know if I should start to explain what obfuscate mean to people who are reading. It means that I am trying to confuse people. Of course, this is how they do. Once they come, they go into dictionary and start looking for big words. So people, I don't know who they are communicating with. You know, every person, I believe that he is a lawyer according to them. Every person, if you know what is called communication, when you are communicating with people, you are not communicating to yourself. You are communicating to your audience. That is what we call the characteristics of communication. You don't communicate to people and you expect them to go and bring dictionaries to start checking the meaning of what you say. And this is nothing. You should have just used trying to confuse people. Why are you using obfuscate? Why? Why do you choose to use obfuscate instead of using confusion? You see? And that is how the people who are not genuine, they do. And this is the problem of Nigeria. This is the problem of Nigeria. They will come and try to confuse you with grammar. They will come to try, like I was watching some people the other day, they were saying, and of course I know they were referring to me, I was just laughing, you know. Like I said, everybody who have crossed the four walls of university in Europe. I did not study in Nigeria. I studied in the United Kingdom. Anybody who have crossed the four line of university knows how to command English. And in addition to this, there is quality that a lot of people don't have. And do you know what it is? It is called the quality of communication. You need to, in that communication, you go to the training. You go to training, how to communicate to your audience. There is different training for it. It is not something you get from school. No. It is not something you go and they teach you how to communicate with audience. That is why they have training for people who are public speakers, people who go to function. You go to training. And that is what is really lacking in Tony Nnadi. You lack that communication skills. You can write the whole English, but nobody is interested because you lack the communication skills. You need to come down to how to communicate to your audience to understand you and follow you. You don't communicate with people, and when you communicate with them, you want to confuse them, you want to show them superiority. You don't show superiority with go to a dictionary and bring one word. I can come tomorrow and I change. But guess what? That will never be me. So let me continue. Now, I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to read all that he wrote here, but I want to use his own word to counter his claim here against me. He said, within the last 4 days, no less than 30 persons sent me the video below in which one Simon Ekpa, who appears to be a new megaphone of the rogue global Biafra restoration franchise merchant, made a miserable attempt to distort and obfuscate the fundamental issues of inconcilable differences of strategy and methodology between the LNC and the proprietors of Biafra Restoration Enterprise, along with their utterly hoodwinked bandwagons. All these things doesn't make sense. Each time Tony Nnadi writes something, he will always use this kind of hoodwink bandwagon. Who is interested in reading this? You know, like I said, I am not going to be vocal. It is not my own pattern of life to be vocal. How I was trained differently, and as I command my own thing as well. So I'm not going into exchanging of words or try to downgrade you or try to look down on you, Mr. Tony. No. If I see you tomorrow, you are still my brother. That is me. That is the kind of person I am. I am a very good spirited person. Now, let me continue from here. And when I'm doing this, the screen from which I am reading this is very tiny. And of course, he wouldn't know that. A lot of messages that are coming to this screen also are disturbing my reading. So, but listen, the notes that accompany the video clip from the various senders indicated that they each understood the false narrative and subterfuge intended by Mr. Ekpa. And so my impulse was to ignore that failed self-defeating attempt by the fellow to erect a false narrative and create impression that the LNC is in some kind of working relationship with the criminals he, Simon Ekpa, speak for. Now he is claiming that I am speaking for the IPOB, and he still maintains to call them criminals. Now, of course, I will maybe at the end of the day come to a conclusion whether this is really a genuine agitation or not. But that is coming. But on second thought, I deemed it necessary to set the record straight, especially for the deliberate distortion of fact, well known from the direct communication I had with him, with Ekpa. Over a short period in the past, when I erroneously thought he was just another hoodwinked Biafra restoration campaigner, but which stopped when it became clear to me that he was a clear-minded participant in the rogue Biafra franchise enterprise. You see, of course, you communicated with me. You had a lot of, you know, at least we did not talk. I was the one who promised to call you, and I never did. I never called you for the reason best known to me. It is not that I don't want to talk with you, but I wanted you, Mr. Tony Nnadi, to follow me, to follow my online activities for a while before I would then give you a call, and we can, because you sent me a lot of materials, and I had to, you told me to study the materials and all that, and of course I went through the materials, and I wanted you to follow me on social media for a while, so that you will see from the context that I am coming from. And of course, you know, probably you didn't want to do that, and then you begin to write ill about other agitators, and that was why I responded. So now let me continue. And then at least you confirm here that I am just a clear-minded participant in the rogue Biafra franchise enterprise. And then, of course, you begin to talk about the readers, what they should do. So now, I highlighted this. You know, I want to make it categorically clear. I want to make it categorically clear to those who also believe what Tony Nnadi wrote and they could not think. Let me show my face. Remember, when I made that live video, I said that the Lower Niger Congress have only one issue with Biafra agitators. And I said it is that they don't accept the name Biafra. And I still stand by that. From the little conversation and from what Tony Nnadi wrote here, which I'm going to read to you. So I don't know where the lies that Simon Ekpa is telling is coming from, because he wrote it here by himself. So let me read it to you. Now, number one, Tony Nnadi wrote this, not me. Not me. First is, first of all, he said, first is state categorically that Simon Ekpa lied deliberately when stated that the only problem the LNC and I have with the Biafra restoration commotion is that we do not want the name Biafra for the undefined territorial space over which the Biafra agitators seek independence. This is his own, this is my claim, what I claimed. Now, I will not go into addressing all, but this claim that I claimed now, I stand by it and it was correct. But he came here to say, the truth here, he said, the truth is that there are very fundamental issues of strategy and methodology over which the LNC differs irreconcilably with the Biafra restoration bandwagon, of which the Biafra campaign name tag is one. Even at that, you see, did you understand the English? Let me read it again. Let me read it again and highlight it. He say here, let me highlight here so I will read it again. And this is when I'm doing this, it is bound that I repeat words because I am doing like I am in a lecture hall. And that is exactly the way I have been brought up, the way I was taught, the way I was trained by different professionals, professors whom I have worked with in life. So it is not about coming to write big grammar and all that. Now listen to this. This is Tony Nnadi who wrote this. He said, the truth is that there are very fundamental issues of strategy and methodology. Now, he wrote this strategy and methodology with capital letters, over which the LNC differs irreconcilably with the Biafra restoration bandwagon, of which one of them is Biafra here. One of them is Biafra campaign name. Biafra campaign name tag. Is it not what I claimed? And he continued. Even at that, so which means he admitted here, Tony Nnadi admitted that yes, Biafra campaign name tag is one of the problem he have with Biafra agitators. But I'm telling you today, this is the biggest problem he have, the Lower Niger Congress have with other Biafra agitators, because once he accept this Biafra, the other problem which he highlighted here, strategy and methodology, automatically will be solved. This is it. It is a simple logic. You see? So this strategy and methodology, first of all, coming to term for the fact that Biafra as a name tag, like he rightfully asserted there, will go a long way to solving the strategy and the methodology. That is one thing that he don't know, as learned as he is. Because when he adopts, if the Lower Niger Congress adopts Biafra as a name, that is the solution. Automatically, the adoption of Biafra as a name have solved the issue of strategy and methodology. And that was the reason I singled out Biafra as a name, because the beginning of the problem is the name Biafra. And he didn't deny it here. But guess what? He went further to say that I lied. And that is not professional. That is not professional. He should have defined the differences than saying that the only problem that I said that I lied. I didn't lie. This is his own rejoinder. Why I'm doing this is that so that his followers who already concluded that they understood what I did, that I was trying to distort fact and present false story to them, they should also think along line with me. Did I lie? The answer is no, I did not lie. Because Tony Nnadi, in his response here, this is his written, it is there on his Facebook page. He said, one of which the Biafra campaign name tag is one. Even as that, he went further. Even at that, what the LNC rejects is the use of Biafra. You see it? He went further to say the Lower Niger Congress rejects the use of Biafra. This is here. At the stage of self-determination campaign. You see? So where did I, Simon Ekpa, lie or try to bring false information to the people, to the readers of Lower Niger Congress? It is not, listen, it is not, first of all, when I come out for these agitators, I told Nigeria government, anybody working for you, it is time you bring out the best brain. Because here, God molded what is here. And I am out for Biafra. And I am out to trash everybody who will come against agitators of Biafra, and you are working for Nigeria government. I want you to bring your claim and whatever intellectually. I will be trashing them one after the other. And not only that, even your followers, with their eyes will open. Did I lie here? This is what you are saying. You are saying it in your own page and in your own writing. You said Lower Niger reject is the use of Biafra. Here, as I'm doing it, highlighting it now, everybody is looking at it. Lower Niger Congress reject is the use of Biafra name tag at this stage of self-determination campaign. And then you went further to say for Lower Niger territory. So this is the point here. Your problem, Tony Nnadi, in case if you don't understand your problem is that you are fighting for Lower Niger Territory. Where is Lower Niger Territory? We cannot at this stage, when Biafra have lost millions of lives, we at this stage that you have, according to you, you have been fighting for 10 years before even the IPOB and all that, forgetting that most of IPOB today came from another agitating group. They did not just come from sky and begin to agitate for Biafra. Most of them has been agitating for Biafra for as long as that Lower Niger Congress has been in existence. They came from other agitating group and formed their own group. You see? So you cannot just completely rule out the fact that a lot of them has been agitating as long as you. That is another fact. And you cannot dispute that. So now, you said that I lied. First of all, I did not lie. It is here. You wrote it yourself. That you reject using the name tag Biafra in the early stage. And I am now telling you that this is the problem you have, the biggest problem you have with IPOB and other agitators. Because no rightful thinking, no right-thinking person agitating for Biafra would accept to drop the name Biafra. After the Biafra has been recognized all over the world, who is recognizing Lower Niger Congress or Lower Niger Territory? Who knows that? Nobody knows that. Nobody knows Lower Niger Territory. Nobody knows. Biafra has made the name. Biafra has been in existence even before Nigeria. Biafra has been a country for 3 years. Biafra had everything. They have run the country for 3 years. And in Biafra name, millions of people have been killed. And people are still being killed today in Biafra name. So how can you wake up all of a sudden, you begin to tell your people to forget the name Biafra, to adopt Lower Niger Territory? Where did the Lower Niger, of course, Lower Niger Territory, during the time of the colonial master, yes, something like that existed, something like that were mentioned, but the Biafra is something that everybody knows. So if we begin to reject Biafra, or I've said it before, if we drop the name Biafra, it is your mission. If your mission is to distort or to come and cause for confusion in Biafra restoration, then it will not work. Because if immediately we drop Biafra as a name and begin to adopt some other name, it is totally that nobody will take us serious anymore. Biafra has gone far. Biafra has gone far. You know, it has gone far. It has gone beyond all this petty politics. That is my point. So I did not lie. I will not go into addressing how I pronounce your first majority or whatever, because it is not important to me. Like I said from the beginning, from my opening speech on this video, I said, if I want to speak like an American, you will never know that I have ever been to Africa. That is a fact. But I'm not here to entice anybody. I am here on a mission and well-focused. And nobody will distract me, because nobody employed me to fight for Biafra. I am not being paid by anybody to fight for Biafra. And nobody can come and disrupt what I'm doing. And my focus, I am focused. I did not come to join Biafra agitators because somebody called me. No. If I want to tell you something that will shock you, nobody invited me to come and start fighting for Biafra agitators. Ask anybody that knows me. Nobody invited me. It is God that brought me, because God has prepared me for this task. And that is what is happening. Nobody. I have once upon a time asked people that anybody who brought Biafra flag in a particular place where something is happening, I will arrest them with police. I said it. But today, the spirit of Biafra arrested me. And there is no going back. So I did not come here. When you see me sensitizing people, trying, and this is only sensitization, I am going diplomacy. And I'm telling you, it is not mouth making. We are going to move mountain with anybody who is genuine fighting for Biafra. It will happen everybody will see it. It is not mouth. So anybody who knows me knows my capacity. Now, the thing I'm telling you now, that you wrote something here that the hip-hop bandwagon. Listen, I am supporting IPOB. I am not supporting them in secret, because they have convinced me that they are actually fighting for the freedom and the liberation of Biafra. You may not like it. You don't need to like it. I am not even saying you should like it, but support anybody. If you are genuine, irrespective of what they are doing, support them. You don't need to physically come and praise them, but don't castigate and call them their names, the names that they are not. That is my own issue. I'm not saying you should come and join IPOB. No, everybody cannot join IPOB. Everybody cannot be a member of IPOB. But stop all this social media seeking attention, and you want me to start addressing this letter that I'm addressing now. Wasting my time to address your letter, but it is worth it. It is worth it. This is not even wasting time, because a lot of your followers will understand what I'm explaining now, that I did not lie. That what I'm saying is fact. The only problem you have, and I maintain it, is the name Biafra. You said it here. And I'm telling you now that Biafra you don't like, once you adapt that Biafra, it will solve the issue of this strategy and methodology that you highlighted here. That is what I'm trying to let you know. You are a lawyer, you know how to think along this line. But if you are lying to yourself, you will choose not to think along that line. But if you are really genuine, you will know that if you solve one problem, that one problem will go a long way in solving others. It's just like in law courts, if you have been practicing. When you are in mediation, for example, when you are in mediation in law court, you have to do what we call compromise. If the other party is coming, bringing something, the issue cannot be resolved. One party has to compromise something, and once you compromise, agree to order, that compromise, that single compromise, will go a long way in solving the whole problem, the whole package. And that is what is happening here. And you, as a professional lawyer like you claim to be, you don't understand that the name Biafra will solve the issue of strategy and methodology. That is the only thing. I'm not, like I said, I will not call you names like you have called me, or like you have been calling IPOB, or commenting on your page that the guy is poorly educated. That nobody is poorly educated. That's another wrong English. Nobody is poorly. Anybody that is educated is educated. Nobody is poorly educated. The only person that is poorly educated is your president of Nigeria that you are working for today. That is poorly educated because he didn't go to primary school, but he went to the 4 walls of primary school. That is what we call poorly educated. He cannot speak English. He cannot address the nation. That is poorly educated. Somebody who don't even go to school, there are different type of education. Do you understand? It is not only the education you acquire from school. There are different kind of education. Those who can write and speak don't necessarily have to go to university, but you can say that they are educated to some extent. That is what we call informal education. So there is what we call formal education and informal education. You don't just come to tell somebody in public as a lawyer that you are, that the person is poorly educated. On which of the education is poor? Is it his ability to present issues is the poor education? Or is it his inability to pronounce force majeure? Is it the poor education? Is it how you now classify who is poorly educated and who is well educated? It's not, some people, you see, this is how I told you people that anybody that must engage me should be prepared. It is not matchmaking. If you want to engage me on this issue of Biafra, if you want to ridicule other group because you think that you are learned, I will bring you, first of all, to my level, and I will beat you with experience. That is what I'm going to do. And that is what I'm doing to you now, Mr. Tony Nnadi. But that does not mean that we are not friends. If we meet tomorrow, we are going to, because whatever happens, we are all going to Biafra. And the Biafra is not when we fight for Biafra, we still stay in Europe and allow you people to rubbish the Biafra like you rubbish oil sectors and all that. In your years of service in oil sector, you said it. So we will not allow you people to rubbish Biafra. We will come and participate in Biafra. And then we are all brothers. So the issue of that I lied here, I think I have addressed that issue. There is nothing like lie. And I want to read some things again because I'm not going to start to address all this your epistle you wrote here. I don't have that kind of time. I make my point very clear and straight. Now let me read it. Let me continue this before I stop. Now, like I said, Lower Niger Congress rejects is the use of Biafra name tag at this stage of self-determination. Means that for you, you don't want agitations of Biafra to use Biafra as at this stage. And actually, I have a different I have different opinion, because this is the stage we need to use Biafra. If we do not use Biafra in this stage, when is the stage that we are going to use Biafra? That is the point. The biggest problem you have is Biafra. So, and this is the stage. I am telling you, and I am telling everybody, including your followers, that the stage to use Biafra as a name tag is now, not later. It is even better after we have used Biafra as a name tag, when we have gotten the referendum. Then we can now sit down. People will begin to contemplate whether to continue to use Biafra or not to use Biafra. And a lot of people, believe me, 90% of Biafrans will accept Biafra. That is because that name has done a lot of things. It is like a spirit. You can't just come and tell everybody to throw Biafra. So now I continue. So I don't continue to repeat, but that is how I do, because it is like I'm in lecture room. Even though I have never been a lecturer, of course, I just have to, adopt this kind of pattern so that a lot of people will follow and understand. And not only that you understand or hear me, but you read meanings to my explanation, what I'm explaining. Now, you went further to say for the lower Niger territory, as it completely damaged possibility of founding common ground amongst various nationality in the lower Niger, whose territory are presumably included in the Biafra being restored. You see, so Tony Nnadi, this is the, in fact, I want your followers, those who think that I was trying to bring falsehood to them, let them think what I'm reading now, because this is your own writing. That you think that bringing Biafra now, that other what did you call them, other nationalities of the lower Niger, whose territory are presumably included in the Biafra being restored, they will not accept Biafra. So now, the task that I'm asking you to do is, why don't you channel your... First of all, you as a person, Tony Nnadi, and all the executive of the Lower Niger Congress, why don't you people, first of all, if you really want the freedom of your people, why don't you, first of all, try to educate your people that, okay, now everybody is fighting for this disintegration of Nigeria, and for the fact that Biafra has been a name, even though that we are falsehood propaganda that we are sold to people, maybe that was the reason they don't like Biafra. So it is your responsibility in this generation, as somebody who is educated, to now enlighten your people that those stories behind Biafra were all lies, that it was manufactured and this out from the northern Nigeria trying to divide the Biafra land. It is your responsibility to educate your people, create the awareness, and make them adopt the name Biafra, because that was the strategy they used to divide you. It is your responsibility. You talk to your people. But before talking to your people, you have to understand yourself. But now you did not understand. So how can you talk to your people? You have to first of all embrace the Biafra, understand why Biafra is very important, understand why the multitude that you so much hate, because you have demonstrated your hatred for what you called or what you tag multitude. You have to first of all understand why that multitude that comprises of well-educated people, and I am including myself as one of the educated people in that multitude. Why this multitude are adopted or have adopted Biafra as a name. You reason with them, and then after reasoning with them, you will say, okay, maybe it is time to talk to other stakeholder in that Lower Niger Congress. Let us, because we don't have any option, let us do this now and adopt this Biafra, and let's move forward. After the Biafra, this day, we can now sit in the round table and discuss it. Even if we are going to sign it as an agreement between all the agitating group, it's a simple thing. You don't just come and say no Biafra, and then you want to bring the Biafra again after you have succeeded in having a referendum. So it looks to me like a scam, like you are not real. And I have to say it the way it is, because I don't see anything wrong with Biafra. If your people don't accept Biafra, it is you who is now well-learned and well-informed
that have to now educate them let us go with this Biafra. And then after that, if it is not good, we will begin to vote and lobby for a change of the name. But you are not doing that. Instead, you want to start calling them criminals, criminals, criminals. Nobody is a criminal. In fact, it is even those of you in Nigeria that we should be calling criminals, because nobody, no genuine agitation of Biafra today will be in Nigeria safely, in this government. That is a fact. So is either there is something you are not doing correctly for you to continue to remain in Nigeria and you have your peace in Nigeria, in this Fulani control government. So there is something you are not getting. Because even ordinary senators who will go to National Assembly, to the Red Chamber, and kick against the government, they will come after them. Ordinary House of Representatives speaker who will go and talk, and what they are saying is truth, not like they are making propaganda. They will come after them. Any politician who raised, including the clergymen, who raised their voice against Nigeria today, they will come after them. So how come you, the Tony Nnadi and your group, how come you people are in Nigeria and enjoying the security, enjoying everything in Nigeria, meanwhile we are in abroad shouting for our people? So something is wrong somewhere. It is either you are not getting something right, because if you hit this government in a target that it will destabilize them, they will come after you. And that is why it is not, I'm beginning to think, why is it that you people are enjoying there, and those who are actually making effort internationally to make something happen in Nigeria, you are calling them names? That is uncalled for. That is uncalled, and because the way you responded this message, propelled me to talk this way. But I will continue to maintain that I will not insult you. So now let me read the last, and then I stop here. Because of course, because last time you said, in this place, you said that I omitted some of your, when you were talking about America, that you contacted diplomatic or Congress in America, and nobody is engaging Biafra restoration. You contacted UN. Those things are junks. I don't have time to start analyzing that. I'm analyzing the issue of importance. It is not the issue of who contacted who and who did not contact who. No. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in why did you not buy the idea of joining forces with IPOB and other agitating group? And if any Biafra group, including Mossab, have actually accepted this your template of dropping Biafra, then I don't think they are still probably they are out of their mind, because no reasonable Biafra will reject Biafra as a name and accept your template of Lower Niger Congress. What is Lower Niger territory? For now, there is nothing like that. So it is Biafra. So anybody who accepts to use this Lower Niger territory is not a real, it doesn't know what he's doing. And I am very surprised to even hear you that other people have adopted it. So which means Mossab have actually adopted it. And I am calling on Mossab today, the leadership of Mossab, to come and give statements whether they have abandoned the Biafra project and they have adopted the Lower Niger territory as a country or as a name tag. It is a question, and every other group who have actually adopted this Lower Niger Congress should come forward. Let us see them. I want to see the response from Uwazurike, our own Uwazurike, that have been in this struggle for ages, have been to prison, he has been molested, he has been assaulted, assassination attempt on his body. I want Uwazurike to come and address this issue, whether you have actually accepted to be part of Lower Niger territory, because this is very, very big allegation if you have accepted that. According to what Tony Nnadi said, not in this one, but in the other previous, and of course there are annexes he put here. So I want Uwazurike and other BZM, other Biafra group to come and clear the air. Because you can't tell me that you abandoned Uwazurike, that you abandoned Biafra as a name, and now you are adopting Lower Niger territory. No. This is unacceptable. I'm not saying that you have accepted it, because this is just one side of the story. So now, let me continue here. So now, so like you see, the Lower Niger has repeatedly stated that it will support the name Biafra. Listen to this. The Lower Niger has repeatedly stated that it will support the name Biafra to be adopted for the freed territory at the point of going to independence referendum. All the contestant component nationalities of the territory agreed to adopt that name, and that until that threshold is reached, the Lower Niger Congress will focus its energies on the task of creating internal cohesion amongst constituent component nationalities of the Lower Niger, whilst working with the rest of the MNN alliance partner to tax down the toxic 1999 constitution, along with the unitary union of debt attribution to backwardness of forest. So now, how can you be talking that only after the restoration of the referendum of Biafra, or the territory you are talking about, only then you can begin to talk about Biafra? That is, and what you are trying to do is very dangerous, because it will only mock all this agitation since the beginning of Biafra war. It is going to be the biggest disaster if anybody accepts this kind of proposal and template. To first of course, you may have others. Your strategy and your methodology may be very good. Nobody is doubting it. Like I said, it may be very good, but the methodology and strategy must follow the name Biafra. And once you accept, like I said, that is why I said, once you accept the name Biafra, it will solve all this problem of your methodology and strategy. Because your methodology may also be almost the same with other agitating group, and now you are having problem with those agitating group because of ordinary name Biafra. Doesn't that make sense to people who are supporting you? Because the lies has been sold that Biafra did this, Biafra did that, Ojukwu did not carry you along. That is why I said you should be educating your people, because it is your job as the person who is well versed in the issue of Biafra. It is your responsibility, if you agree to come and liberate your people, it is your responsibility to enlighten and educate and orientate them that those things they are telling that the story about Biafra are all lies. And they were all lies meant to divide Biafra. Now, they'll tell you that Ojukwu went to war, and it was Igbo thing. It was a lie. Ojukwu didn't go to war. That is one lie that we should start to change the narrative. It was Nigeria that brought the war to Ojukwu. Ojukwu never went to war. After the Abore Accord, like everybody you see now today in Nigeria shouting Abore Accord, Abore Accord. After the Abore Accord, Ojukwu believed in the Abore Accord and went home to Biafra. And Gowon and his people went and connived with each other and rejected the Abore that they have agreed on. So, and for that, they re-strategize and bring war to Biafra. That is why the war was fought in Biafra land. Ojukwu did not take the war to them. Ojukwu did not start the Biafra war. It was Nigerian government that started the Biafra war and brought the war to Biafra land. And for those of you who are talking bad thing against Yoruba, yes, Awolowo did bad thing by betraying Ojukwu, but that is not even the problem here. Yoruba were not, Awolowo painted Yoruba as Ndibos na arota ufakarota no ufakarota man ozuo that this thing all the fingers, means that when your one finger touches oil, it will touch to all other fingers. It was Awolowo. It was not the collective interest of Yoruba people. That is one thing a lot of people should know. It was Awolowo who convinced Yorubas to fight against Biafra. It was not the collective. What Awolowo did was what this Tinubu is doing today. It was not the collective interest of Yoruba people. And you think that if it is today, Awolowo would have succeeded? No! Awolowo will not succeed. Because a lot of people will use the opportunity and even kill him to make sure they have Oduduwa. If it is today. So it was Awolowo single-handedly scammed Yoruba people to make them to fight against Biafra. It was not the collective interest of Yoruba. It was Awolowo, who is the leader of Yorubas, that made them follow him and they fought against Biafra. And that is exactly the route Tinubu is taking today. But today, it cannot work again in Yoruba land. Because this is a different generation. And let me ask you again. When after the war, they abandoned property, did the Yorubas not release properties to Biafra?
The answer is yes. They released all the properties in Yoruba land. Biafra got their property. But where in Nigeria did they have the abandoned property and Biafra didn't get it? It is in this where you have the South today. It is this our own brothers. It is our own Biafran brothers, Ijos, that did not give us our properties back. But that is, by the way, we have forgotten those things. So a lot of people, that is why a lot of people, we need to be teaching these histories and those lies that have been told against Biafra. It is your responsibility, Tony Nnadi, to lecture your people and educate them. And if you don't know this history, because I believe you know, but of course, it is not every big stomach that you have food. You may not even know it. But if you know it and you are hiding it and you don't want to educate them, then you are evil. It is not a good thing. You need to tell your people to know the truth. First of all, if you are fighting to liberate yourself from Nigeria, which are known for evil, you cannot be fighting with evil. You have to be upright in your doing. Tell your people the truth, and the truth shall set you free. So what I have just said now is the fact. Our property, the properties of Igbos were seized by our brothers. But the Yorubas, it didn't happen like that. And that is why I am standing today to say it plainly and publicly that Yorubas did not seize the properties of Igbos, but our brothers did because of the lies that were sold to them. And these are the lies that need to be corrected, not the name Biafra. Biafra, nobody should have any issue with Biafra as a name. But they not sow this lie to you people, and you want to continue to sow the seed of discord among Biafran people. And you are claiming you want to fight for freedom. So please, Tony Nnadi, like I said, this what I'm saying now is a general analysis of all what you have written here. The issue of what do you do with the UN is it's a garbage to me. So please, I still come down now to a civilized person that I am. Don't call other Biafra agitators' name. You say that very soon I will go to social media to make my live broadcast. Yes, I have come. And I believe now I have talked more sense than what I did in the first one. Because now I addressed your issue and I have proved here that I did not lie. Rather, it is you who are trying to brainwash your followers to believe that somebody have lied. And there also, because if I begin to read, do you know one thing? If I begin to analyze all these things that you wrote here, Mr. Tony Nnadi, believe me, you will lose followers just in one day. Believe me, all your followers, the half of your follower will leave you. But I don't want to do that. Because because you know, with your own word, what you wrote here, if I begin to analyze it and begin to pieces it like I'm piecing only just one of your, if I begin to pieces it, I have that time to begin to pieces it, all your followers will watch this video and they will leave you. Because they know what I'm saying, because they know my hearts are clean. I don't have any bad thing. Nobody is paying me. I am not under payroll of anybody. I am doing what I'm doing for the liberation and freedom of Biafra, of my people. I'm not interested in your narrative of being a megaphone of any group or anything like that. But I tell you, the biggest platform today is IPOB, and I respect them. They have actually proven to me that, of course, a lot of you people will not understand, because everybody have different level of understanding. I am not expecting you to understand things the way I understand, until I see for myself that they are fraud. But for now, I cannot judge them based on what you presented to me or based on what you are telling me. I want to see with my eyes. And for now, believe me, even if it is the noise alone, I am okay with that noise, because this is the noise we didn't make during the 1960s. And if we have made this noise today, if we have made this noise in the 60s, I don't think you will be talking about Nigeria or Biafra today, because we have been independent since 1960. We have been gotten our independence. And I will tell you one thing. For those of you who think that war is not in Nigeria, there is war already. For those of you who think that Biafra may not go into civil war again, there is war already. In 1968, the German soldier, which I played here,
a few days ago, the German soldier were responding to journalists, and he made it very clear that this is not going to be, from Biafra land, that this is not going to be the last civil war in Nigeria. From what he have seen, that there is going to be another civil war. And what we are doing, what IPOB are doing now, is to make sure that the freedom come. And if it is about going into hostility, and if it is war, we have to be prepared. So that nobody will say they didn't know. Because in the 60s, nobody were hearing anything from anywhere in outside the world. It was Africans are having problem. That was the word that were sold, that the British sold to other European countries. Africans were, it is the problem of the black Africans, they are having issue. Until the white man went into Biafra land and took picture of dying children. That was when the world were outraged for what the British and their allies have done in Nigeria. And that man said that he was the commander. This is not like an outsider. He was the commander, one of the commander of Biafra army. He said that Biafra had 5,000 manpower, 5,000 soldiers against 30,000 of Nigeria army, plus international mercenaries, the bombs that are coming from Britain, from Russia, from other countries, from Egypt and all that. They fought 5,000 soldiers of Biafra, hold Nigeria to stand still for 3 good years. And what are we talking? And you think that if that kind of war happened today, Nigeria will survive it for 1 month? They will not survive, because we will take that war, and best, as you are looking at me, I will come and join the war to liberate my people. It is not like when it starts, I will stay here. No, 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 no. I will come and we join the war. That is the fact. This is not the time that somebody will stay somewhere and say, oh, the war. If the war starts today and it is for Biafra war and Nigeria war, Simon Ekpa is going to participate and fight the war. Because where I'm living today, people fought and people were killed before they get independent. And if it requires me to do the same to liberate my people, I am ready any day, anytime. It is not the time to show who is big man or who is educated. I will go and show my skills and fight alongside with my people to liberate Biafra. That is what I'm going to do. So all these things you are writing here, please, there is no need for all this. Like I said, swallow your pride, Tori Nnadi, and adopt Biafra first. Like I said, I did not lie. I have analyzed your grievances, what you said. All this, all that, like why I did not go further to start reading all your strategies and whatever, and the methodology and all that, how to bring the Nigeria Constitution down and all that. I didn't go into doing that, because the problem you have is only Biafra as a name. And once that problem is solved, the issue of the methodology and the strategy you are talking about automatically will be solved. That is the only problem. So where did I go wrong? Where did I try to mislead the public? It is you that wrote it here. And you cannot accept, I don't know how you practice your own law anyway, but this is just a fact. So please, this whole social media, I'm not, like I said, this may be the last time I will discuss this with you, but of course, I wish that you continue to listen, and let us it will come to a point that you see all these differences will be corrected automatically. The events that will be happening in Nigeria in time to come will not even, in fact, like I said, except if you are not genuine, it's a different thing. But if you are really genuine and you are fighting for liberation of your people, the time will come when you will not be interested in anything at all. That it is, you just want your people to be free. And we cannot wait until that time comes, because, like you said, you mentioned that IPOB activity made the Nigeria government to start killing their members, and that is another fallacy, because Nigeria government kills people who are not even IPOB. They kill people, they kill Biafrans who are not members of IPOB. There are a lot of times that the police have extrajudicially killing people in Biafra land, and it is not about IPOB. Okay, as I'm talking to you now, when last did you see activity of IPOB in Biafra land? Are they not killing Biafrans? Are they not killing Biafrans? The people you said that they adopted your NLC platform, other Biafra, were they not victim of Nigeria government? Mosobo has been victim. Most of the Biafran, most of the IPOB today, they were a member of the Mossad before. They have faced persecution and all that. So what are we talking? You don't need to sell this kind of lies to people, knowing fully well that the people you are talking with, of course, we know Nigerians are not thinking, a lot of them are not thinking anymore. Knowing fully that the people you are selling these things to are in Nigeria and they see how the Nigeria government behaves. And like I said, if they have not come for you recently, especially this administration, it means that you have not done something right. It is not because you are going to have alliance with Yoruba and Middle Belt and all that. No. If they feel that you are a threat to dividing Nigeria today, with that your alliance to Yoruba, they will come for you. And if they have not come for you, then you are not a threat to them. That is the fact. It means that you may think that you are doing something well, but they have already studied whatever you are doing. They have studied the weight of what you are doing, and it is not a threat to them. Look at IPOB. IPOB came, you said that you have been operating for 10 years before IPOB, but look at what IPOB did within this short time period. And immediately they proscribed them. Look at the movement, the Islamic movement of Nigeria. Immediately they proscribe them because they see things that they have not seen in other agitating group. That is the fact. Everybody must agree this. The Nigerian government have seen something they have never seen in any other agitating group. And that is what exonerated IPOB and Nnadi Kanu. That is what makes them different. Because the federal government of Nigeria have seen something they have not seen before in any agitating group. And they don't even know what is coming. Because, let me dress my cap, adjust it. They don't know what is coming. We are in. And more prominent Biafrans are joining this agitation on daily basis. So it is time you put your egos aside and forget writing all this your Mejuri and whatever first Mejuri you are writing and laughing at me. Of course, you don't know me, so of course you can laugh. You know, it is a free word. I'm not bothered by that. You know, my profession and my field of work have taught me a lot of things. I have faced a lot of criticism, of course, so that kind of thing doesn't move me. Like I said, God molded me, and I am prepared for this. So no amount of cajoling or mockery can touch me. I know my capability. Thank you all for watching. Share this video. Let Tony Nnadi see it. And please, like I said, nobody must call Tony Nnadi name. Please. He is our brother. He's only been having a different view about Biafra name. And even though he come to his page to mock me and abuse me, like I said, I am not in the level of abusing people. I want to talk sense, rather. I want to make my point. I want to tell people that, yes, I know what I'm doing. It is not just about name calling or trying to bring anybody down. Please, I'm not doing that. But Tony Nnadi, if you are responding to me, please, no vulgar. If you are responding to me, please, no name callings, no criminal. Respond to me as a learned person, as a lawyer. I don't know whether if you go to court, you start calling somebody criminal, when you have not actually, when the person have not actually been indicted. So please, show example to the people who are following you. Show example. You don't need to do, even if I come to call you name, you don't need to call me name back because I called you name. You don't need to, use vulgar word on me because I use it against you. Like now, you use some word against me. I don't need to come and I respond to you using a vulgar word and all that. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. So let us be mature. And if you don't want to be mature, like I said, my character and the way I'm responding to you will make shame catch you so that you will change and be responsible and be a good leader and be a good example to the people that follows you. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day.